Imagine it is 1924. You are standing on the shoulder of a deserted highway somewhere in the heart of misty England. Around you, the silence is broken only by the distant neighing of horses or the occasional chugging of primitive, oily cars barely struggling to hit 30 miles per hour. But suddenly, the air begins to vibrate. It's not just a sound. It's a low, velvety roar that pierces your chest. Out of the fog, like a silver bullet, a silhouette emerges, blinding you with flashes of perfectly polished nickel. It streaks past so fast that you barely catch a glimpse of the rider in a leather coat. This isn't just a motorcycle. This is a mechanical deity. This is the Brough Superior SS100. In an era when most two-wheeled machines were unreliable, rusty bicycles with motors, this machine offered something unthinkable, a written guarantee that it could reach 100 miles per hour. Today, at the world's garage, we dive into the era of true gentlemen and dangerous speeds to tell the story of the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, a bike that became a symbol of luxury, an object of fanatical worship, and the cause of a great tragedy. George Brough wasn't just a factory owner in Nottingham. He was the first true marketer showman and, at the same time, a fanatic for quality. His father also built motorcycles, but George wanted more. He wanted to create a superior product. Every Brough Superior was hand-assembled like a Swiss watch. This wasn't a conveyor belt. It was an atelier. George personally tested every SS100 that left the shop. If a bike couldn't confidently hold 100 miles per hour on the racetrack, he sent it back to the mechanics for a total teardown. His obsession with detail became legendary. It is said that when the Rolls-Royce company found out Brough was using their name to advertise his brand, they sent a representative with a lawsuit. But when that gentleman arrived at the factory and saw mechanics in white gloves polishing every single screw, he was so impressed that Rolls-Royce officially allowed George to call his bikes the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles. It was the only time in history another brand was granted such a high title. What made this bike so special? Look at this silhouette. Its trademark became the saddle-shaped fuel tank covered in dazzling nickel. It was the first thing people saw and the last thing they remembered. But the real magic was hidden inside. The heart of the SS100 was a V-twin JP engine with a 1,000 cubic centimeters displacement. It was the Ferrari of its time, powerful, reliable, and capable of running for hours at the limit of its capabilities. But speed without control is suicide. George understood this, which is why he introduced the innovative Castle Forks front suspension. It was much stiffer and more stable than anything else on the market. The SS100 didn't just race. It held the road with aristocratic composure. Twin carburetors, massive exhaust pipes running along the entire body, and ergonomics designed for long journeys. It was the gentleman's express, capable of getting you from London to Edinburgh faster than any train.it is impossible to talk about the Brough Superior without mentioning its most famous ambassador, Thomas Edward Lawrence. The legendary Lawrence of Arabia. For a man who led the Arab Revolt and changed the map of the Middle East, a quiet life in England was unbearable. He needed adrenaline, and he found it in George Brough's bikes. Lawrence owned 7 motorcycles of this brand, calling each of them George, from George I to George VII. He called his motorcycles Boanerges, the Sons of Thunder. Lawrence wrote in his memoirs that riding the SS100 was the only moment he felt truly alive. He loved to race small airplanes on country roads, crouching low over the tank and feeling the oncoming wind trying to tear the handlebars from his hands. For him, the Brough wasn't just metal. It was a living beast, his only loyal companion in times of depression and loneliness. But Lawrence's passion for speed came at a price. On May 13, 1935, a warm morning in Dorset, Lawrence was riding his favorite George VII home. On a narrow road near Clouds Hill, he suddenly saw two boys on bicycles appear out of nowhere. Traveling at about 40 miles per hour, Lawrence swerved sharply to avoid hitting the children. He lost control, was thrown from the saddle, and fell, having no head protection. 6 days later, the uncrowned king of Arabia died in the hospital. This tragedy so shocked Britain that one of Lawrence's doctors, Hugh Cairns, dedicated his life to studying head injuries in motorcyclists. It is thanks to Lawrence's death on his Brough Superior that the world received what we consider mandatory today, the modern motorcycle helmet. The bike survived with only a few scratches, but its owner became a part of eternity. Today, the Brough Superior SS100 is the holy grail for any collector. Few remain, and each has its own story. At auctions, prices for perfectly preserved examples easily cross the $500,000 mark. Why do they cost as much as a modern superyacht or a house? Because George Brough didn't build vehicles. He built a legacy. In every line of this bike, you can feel an era when engineering was art. When you look at the shine of its tank, you don't just see chrome. You see the reflection of an entire century. This is a bike for those who understand the difference between speed and style. Even 100 years after its debut, the SS100 commands more respect than any modern plastic sport bike. It is iron aristocracy that knows no aging. George Brough once said, "I don't build motorcycles for everyone. I build them for those who appreciate the best." And the story of the SS100 proves that true quality does not fear time. But now, I want to turn to you. Look at this bike. Is such speed worth the risk it carries? Would you agree to trade all modern safety systems for one day in the saddle of a son of thunder, feeling the road exactly as Lawrence of Arabia felt it? Tell us in the comments. What is more important to you in a machine? Perfect safety or a wild, dangerous soul? I read every one of your responses, because right here at Chronicles, we gather true connoisseurs of metal. If you enjoyed this time travel journey to the Iron Lords of England, hit the like button and subscribe. There are many more legends waiting for their time.